Appreciate you guys for coming on.
Thank you for having us, Barco.
So, I don't know. So we go by Z. What do you go by? What do you want to go by?
Anything you want to call me.
A?
AB.
AB? I like AB.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm Barco. So, yeah, so today we're going to be talking about sort of the Super Bowl coming out tomorrow.
Big game.
Right? What time is it? Like 7 o'clock? 7:30?
6:30.
6:30?
6:30 game, yeah.
I was about to be late to your house then. Oh, geez. I got to check my calendar.
No, we're used to that, Barca.
So do we have everything like prepared as far as the growth, like, it's a potluck, right?
I'm
Yeah,
bringing
potluck.
pizza.
You're bringing pizza?
That's it.
I think I'm just going to get the cheesy breads from Little Caesars.
We're eating good.
Yeah.
That's what I like
Little
to
Caesar,
hear.
I haven't had those. I don't even remember. It's been a long time.
Yeah?
I've never had them in my life, but
Never had Little
never
Caesars?
had Little Caesars.
Never had a Little Caesar in your life.
It's-
You
Even
don't
when I was
remember
a
the
broke,
$5 pizzas?
I was a broke college boy, never went.
We were broke too. That's why it's $5.
Yeah, but I heard it tasted like cardboard. I got standards, even as
Yeah.
a broke man.
$5, it tasted good.
Yeah, well, like I said, I'm going to come through with the breadsticks. We'll see. I'm crossing my fingers. They're like called Italian cheesy breads.
Okay.
They're really, really good. I mean, to me at least. Every time I bring them or bring up the idea of bringing them, people are like, really, Little Caesars to like a Super Bowl game where you cheap? You know, so.
Don't worry, we
see.
got a
I
lot
hope
of
you
other
guys
stuff.
like 'em.
We got a lot of other stuff coming, so we'll be fine.
Yeah. So, run it down for me. We have the Kansas City Chiefs versus the Philadelphia Eagles.
Yeah, sadly.
Who's the quarterback for the Eagles?
So Jalen Hurts.
Jalen Hurts,
Yeah.
right? And then we have Patrick Mahomes.
Oh, it's the refs. Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, Patrick Mahomes.
I think you made a couple of mistakes there, Barca. So
What?
it's not a homie. He's a hated man
I hated
in
man.
America right now, and I'm one of those haters.
Why?
And because you messed. This is my second point is you messed up the name. It's the Kansas City Refs.
Kansas City refs.
Yeah,
Okay.
you can't spell chief without ref in there.
Yo, he's on to something.
Yeah. So
It's been tough to watch their games, man.
Yeah, so, like, okay, so last time, I mean, we were all together. We went to see Chiefs versus the Bills.
yeah,
So it was Josh Allen
Josh
Yeah.
Allen,
versus
MVP Josh Allen now.
MVP Josh Allen. Yeah.
Yeah.
I saw this video where it was him looking at all like it was like a reaction video to all the kids from probably like the Make-A-Wish Foundation or something. Apparently there was like a kid on there who said, "Hey, do you remember me? You wore my bracelet that I gave you for the whole season." I saw that, I started tearing up. I was
Josh
like,
Allen's a good
"Oh,
guy."
man."
Good
I was
guy.
like, "Yo, why isn't he in the Super Bowl, man?"
Because
You
the
know
refs
why.
don't want him there, and Goodell doesn't want him there.
So are you both for the Eagles now?
I'm actually for the game not happening because the Eagles, it's tough to support them. Man. This is hard for me.
It's tough to support them. Why? What's your main team?
I'm a Pats fan, but yeah, you can hate on them, but we've been sucking for about 5 years now. But it's all right. We'll be back.
I love it. You're just
So
proud of that.
the Eagles, I don't think I've ever the team, whatever. They're fine. It's a lot of the hate for the Eagles comes from their fans
Mm-hmm.
because of how obnoxious they are, just doing dumb stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So that's kind of tough. Like I'm literally trying to figure out, do I want to support a team where if they were to win, how their fans are gonna act?
Mm-hmm.
Like you can talk to. I'm not trying to be biased, but I'm a pastor. But talk to any fan base in America. 99% they will pick the Eagles fans as the worst fan base in America.
Yeah, they're because they're toxic, right?
Yeah, they talk too much. One of them actually, when they won the NFC Championship game, Philly always has to grease the poles because they like climbing them.
Oh yeah.
And an 18-year-old kid died because he climbed up and he fell and he was in the hospital for a couple days.
Wait, but did he fall because the poles were greased?
I don't know if that pole was greased or not, but that's how they act.
Yeah,
And one of them died because of that. So
my boy, he lives out in Philly, and apparently the whole mood for like the whole city changed when they got to the Super Bowl. Like everyone was nicer, less beeps in the highway and stuff. Like people just were generally like nice. Like these past few weeks leading up to the Super Bowl since they won or since they got in. So we'll see. I mean, I honestly just like when UConn wins.
Yeah.
Repping UConn.
Always got to represent.
Like, it's always sort of like they start flipping cars over, lighting cars on fire when they win the men's championship. It's like, why? Like, I get you're happy. I get the mood. But you're going to go destroy the brand's facility, the brand's home base?
Well, I'll say this: with UConn, it's a bunch of drunk college kids.
And they do it on campus.
You are grown men in the city of Philadelphia, and women, and some children, rioting. What are you guys? You guys don't have jobs or homes or cars that you have to go back to?
Yeah.
You guys need to grow up
Yep.
and take care of your own city because it needs some care. It smells bad. There's nothing good to do out there. What's good that's come out of
some
Philly,
hot
Barco?
takes.
Yeah, what's good that's come out of Philly besides Kobe Bryant? The 76ers, the chopped cheese is better. New York chopped cheese is better than a Philly cheesesteak.
Wait. New York chopped cheese?
A chopped cheese, Haji's Deli, New York, is better than a Philly cheesesteak.
Really?
Yeah, ask me.
What's the difference between a Philly cheese?
A chopped cheese is they take a cheeseburger, they chop it up, put cheese on it, and put it on like that hoagie roll. A Philly cheesesteak is like thinly sliced beef with cheese, and they put it on a hoagie. But anybody that wants to come at me, come at me.
What?
Chopped cheese is way better than a Philly. New York over Philly any day. I'd rather see the Giants in the Super Bowl. And they beat Brady twice.
Man. That's a tough one. That's a tough
They
one, too.
beat Brady twice, and I'd rather see the Giants in the Super Bowl than Philly.
Really?
Yes.
Wow. Is it wait? Is it because like the city smells and everything like that, or is
Like
it?
I said, there's nothing good that's ever come out of Philly. What, Benjamin Franklin? Is that what you want to hear? Benjamin Franklin.
What about Saquon? He's from Philly. We got to support him at least.
Yeah, well, he's playing for Philly now, and we don't root for Philly.
Well, I'm supporting just Saquon.
And now think about everything I'm saying, Barco, for a second. How much I hate Philly. I'm rooting for Philly in the Super Bowl.
It's crazy, right?
That's how much you hate the Chiefs.
That's how much I hate the refs and Goodell and the Chiefs, because that's all that they are.
We forgot about Taylor Swift, man. He's supposed to be proposing. If they win, you know he's going to propose.
It's all set up. This is all set up by the NFL. Think about it for a second. The NFL generated what? Billions of dollars last year. They tapped into a market they could never tap into before because of Taylor Swift. They got that young, they got young females for the first time. Think about it. When's the last time you heard about people, especially younger females, watching NFL games? Guys go out with their friends. They watch these games. And, they'd ask their girlfriends, hey, you want to come along? Nah, we don't care about NFL. We'll go shopping. We'll do whatever we want, right? I was in the office. I was working a corporate job last year. And we were talking football. And like 2 or 3 of our coworkers that we would never expect came over and were like, hey, so you guys hear about the Super Bowl and the Chiefs, Taylor Swift. And, like 3, 4, 5 years ago, this wasn't happening because Taylor Swift wasn't a part of the picture. So you can't tell me that the NFL is not seeing this, the amount of money they're generating from these additional viewers, and not wanting to have the Chiefs in the Super Bowl.
So do you think like there's a legitimate like when people claim that the refs are like trying to, I guess cushion the Chiefs for the Super Bowl because of Kelsey and Taylor Swift? Do you think that that's actually legitimate? Like there's a business reason to do that?
At the end of the day, the NFL is a business, is it not?
Mm.
It goes down as sports entertainment, right?
Mm-hmm.
So what's the difference between it and WWE?
So does the fact that it may not be the game may not have integrity because the refs are going to play to the revenue horn, right?
Yeah.
Do you think that the risks of it not being a fair game and ruining the core of football are outweighed by the fact that you can make more money when Taylor Swift's involved, when other superstars are involved?
I think the NFL knows that they have a grip on the U.S. population watching their product, so they don't care what they do. They will get that viewership one way or another. You can look at the NBA, you can look at MLB, viewership drop, everything, right? The NFL is stronger than ever. The amount of viewers for a preseason game or a Thursday night game that has like the Jaguars and the Steelers or the Browns and I don't know the Panthers is generating millions and millions of viewers, and the NBA Finals has less views than that. Wow. So the NFL knows that no matter what we do, people are coming back. I'm a prime example. It's been years now where I'm disgusted with this. Even this past Bills game that you were talking about earlier, It's like, I'm not watching the Super Bowl. 3-4 days ago, I was like, hell yeah, I'm watching the Super Bowl. I ain't missing no football. So, and I'm the kind of guy that watches Monday night, Thursday night, Friday night. They started doing Wednesday night, and they got everything in there. Thanksgiving games, Christmas games. I'm watching them all. And they know they got people like me out there, so they'll do whatever it takes. So why not do that and get the additional revenue on top with Taylor Swift, tap into a market they've never been able to before?
I mean, I have my
how about you?
my manager, who's a woman. She literally told me yesterday, I'm watching because I want Kelsey to win because he's dating Taylor Swift. She would never watch that game if it wasn't for that. So Taylor Swift has helped out a lot. And then going back to the refs, I'm not like even Tom Brady, the Patriots used to get calls, right? But I feel like the Chiefs are getting calls at like the most important moments. And we've been watching their games if you just go back to the last 3 years, most of their games are close, like 3 maybe by a touchdown, and that being the games being that close, and then the calls that the refs are making, swinging the game in their favor, is affecting a lot. Like if you go look at the Patriots dynasty, the Super Bowls that they played were probably the closest games that they had. But if you watch the divisional games, the AFC Championship game, most of the time the Patriots blew out teams. They never had close games apart from in the Super Bowl. And the Chiefs, I don't know, it's just different. I feel like they need that extra call to win the game. Because go back to their games. If like with the Bills, that catch, that wasn't a catch. The fourth down, that was a first down. Why didn't they show a second replay? Okay, why didn't the refs measure with where was the chain gang for that? Right? You're supposed to be coming out when it's that close. You're supposed to bring out the chain and measure it. They didn't do it. The offside call. Remember when the Bills had that fumble, the first one, and they threw a flag?
Yeah.
They showed it once, and then they never showed the replay again. So the fans never got to see if the guy was actually offside or not.
Why did they not show the down the line angle?
I was about to say.
I want to know that. To this day, like, it's a huge pivotal point in the game. It's a game-changing play, and you don't show the down the line view. It's just, it doesn't make sense to me. These things don't make sense to me. And to your point about the Patriots, yeah, I will say there was a sense of favoritism back then for the Patriots. We all know that Jaguars game.
But we were also hated.
We were hated.
Goodell hated the Pats.
I mean, yeah, we were definitely hated. No, or I shouldn't say we, but
he's not a Pats fan anymore.
The Patriots were definitely hated, no doubt. But the thing is, this is different. This has a different feel to it. It's like everybody united to dislike the Patriots. I feel like now everyone's united to dislike the Chiefs and the league. I feel like the league is taking scrutiny. And the reason why I think it's different this time is because you have insiders. You had Adam Schefter. You have former coaches. You have analysts and stuff like that going out on Twitter, or now called X, and they're tweeting out against the league. And even the announcers, the NFL could get rid of these guys in a heartbeat if they wanted to.
Troy Aikman. In the divisional game against the Texans.
Troy Aikman and Joe Buck against the Texans were disgusted. He literally, everyone goes back and they can remember. They just go, "Oh man, that's a horrible call." Announcers don't do that or say that. They know they're going to get a slap on the wrist for that. But Troy Aikman, even afterwards, he went on to I believe he went on to a podcast. I don't know if it was Pardon My Take or Barstool Sports, but he was going in on him, and he was like, "Yeah, it's just a disgusting call." Wow. And people up. It's not the fans anymore. That's the difference between the Patriots and the Chiefs. That's what I'll say. It's not the fans anymore. It's everybody's tired of it. The integrity of the game is definitely being lost.
I think it's if you just are on Facebook, any social media, you can see it's not just like, okay, you can say Patriots fans, we don't want the Chiefs coming close to our dynasty, right? I don't want them involved anywhere comparable to what the Patriots did. But it's every other fan base is saying the same thing. Like when you have 31 other teams saying the same thing about one team, there's your answer,
And why Chiefs? Why not Patriots? Why not the Cowboys? Right, they're like one of the most valued teams. Why the Chiefs? Just because of the Taylor Swift connection?
No, They were stuff before Taylor Swift got there. What, last year or the year before?
It was, I believe it was last year, right? So that's when the NFL is starting to make the big bucks off of her. That's what I recall. But I think the main thing is that the NFL started getting into a weird point where a lot of their superstar quarterbacks were getting older, aging, retiring. You're losing Brady. You're losing the Mannings. You're losing Rodgers was not declining, but you knew his time was coming. Drew Brees is gone. You lose a lot of these superstars. Phillip Rivers, you lose a lot of these superstars. They're starting to go. And Mahomes comes in, and he just falls into the lap of the greatest, I don't care what anyone says, the greatest offensive mind the NFL has ever seen, in Andy Reid. So you take a guy who, I liked Mahomes a lot out of college.
He's talented. I'm not going to lie. That guy is talented. He has the talent to do whatever
he's talented,
he needs.
and I feel like a lot of people didn't really know who he was coming out of college. I'm not a big college football guy myself, but I knew this guy had potential. I watched a couple of his games. I knew he was good. He'd be great in the right system. He falls into the lap of an offensive genius. He starts going crazy. In his first season as a starter, he throws 50 touchdowns, a former NFL record, only 10 years, 11 years prior. So the NFL sees this, and they're like, okay, we know Brady's going soon. We've got our golden boy now. We got a guy that'll make us some money. So, we got to start, putting him up on a pedestal, which they did. And I'm not saying that they did it right away and it was that insane right away. He won fair and square. He was winning games. But I feel like after the Taylor Swift thing and, the whole storylines, you got the WWE storylines. Those sell.
Yeah.
You can't tell me those don't sell.
Yeah.
Storylines are what make these things interesting.
Mm-hmm.
These UFC fighters. Why do they bash each other like hell before these fights? Why do they completely destroy each other? They mock each other's families. They do all these horrible things, right? Say all these horrible things. And after the fight, they're hugging it out and they're best friends, right?
Practically kissing.
Look at Habib and Conor McGregor, right? McGregor said the most disrespectful things you could imagine to Habib. Made fun of his wife, his family, his dad, all these things. And at the end, after he lost, he goes, hey, it's just business, right? Because he knows it's what makes money and it's what sells.
Mm. Wow.
I mean, even now, like the NFL just did the Super Bowl media day. There's reporters asking disrespectful questions. One of the questions was, "Hey, Mahomes, you have a lot of people helped you out in your life. Like, who's your favorite ref?" So you would never hear that before. So it's like,
What was his answer to that?
I don't remember. I
believe he was like, I think he said, all the refs are good.
Yeah, all the refs are great.
Call.
Yeah, that's what he said. All the refs are great.
Of course, you're gonna say that, Mahomes. Right calls for you, right?
Wasn't like, I remember there was one, I just saw this right before this episode started. It was like he was pointing at one of the players in the Philly game. I don't know if it was last Super Bowl or something, or in some game, and like it was like a holding call, but like he like brushed him on the back or something, like that. And so you see Mahomes doing like you can see like he's like pointing, and it's like the refs actually said, "Oh yeah, here's a call." Like, I think that's what gets me is the phantom flags. Right, it's like the ones that come way after the fact, and it's like, wait, hold up, like we're already into the next play, and they're calling flag.
The 5 seconds later, right? The play happens. Like, if you remember the Bills game, who was the player that dropped it?
Dalton Kincaid.
Okay, there was a flag thrown, but the refs saw that it was dropped, and then it was taken. Right? Remember the refs were saying, the commentators were saying, "Oh, there's a flag."
Yeah.
And then we saw the ball on the floor. And then they said, "Oh, there's no flag."
It's so funny because there were literally memes before the game where they were saying like, and the Bills throw a 40-yard pass to win the game, 40-yard touchdown to win the game. But wait, Jim, there's a flag. Like there were memes.
The memes are so funny.
There were memes out there, and then it happens in the game. Romo literally goes, "Jim, there's a flag." Oh wait, I guess there's not a flag. As soon as the ref saw that it was incomplete, make it make sense. I want it to make sense for once.
Jeez.
I mean, you were watching there as a neutral, right?
Yeah.
So, we were a little emotionally involved. We wanted the Bills to win. See, that's the first time.
I was leaning towards the Bills because of Josh Allen.
It's like, usually, I don't care about other teams. Like, the passion you saw me, that's the way I watched the Pats game. But I wanted the Bills to win, a neutral team win so badly that I was going a little crazy watching that game because of the dumb stuff that was happening. But I don't know. We'll see what happens tomorrow. You know, we hate the Eagles, but I don't know if they.
Well,
They're gonna get
we
screwed.
know what's happening tomorrow. The Chiefs are winning the Super Bowl. Everybody knows that. It's a storybook ending. It's what the NFL wants.
Maybe the NFL is catching on. They're like, you know what? Maybe
The
we
NFL
do
does
it.
not care
We
about
shouldn't do it.
what did I say earlier? The viewership, they know we're coming back. Are you going to watch the Patriots
Well, the
next season?
Super Bowl tickets have the price has fallen. Right, the cheapest ticket is like $4,000. Last year it was like $9,000-$10,000.
Yeah, I mean, you may take a hit on Super Bowl tickets, but the NFL has already sold those tickets.
You think they're
Those tickets are sold. Those are resale value, so people are losing money. The NFL isn't.
so you think tomorrow's viewership is gonna go down? I think the year before was like over 100 million people.
I think even if it goes down, the NFL knows they're in safe hands. There's no concern. They know, because sure, the teams that don't make it to the Super Bowl, you kind of semi lose that fan base a little bit. But they always still watch the Super Bowl because it's like the big game. It's just like a holiday in the U.S., right? It's just something that's really popular.
I mean, even me, someone who's neutral doesn't watch too much. I only watch like the Super Bowls, the NBA Finals, or, World Cups, whatever. Like it's never. I skip throughout the whole rest of the season.
Yeah.
But that's just me. I mean, so for me, I don't want to. So I'm still trying to understand like the Chiefs part. Like, why is it just because of Taylor Swift? Like, is the goal next season for a team to like one of their members link up with Cardi B or whoever it is? And
Cardi B is not at the level of Taylor.
Well,
Taylor
okay.
is
Yeah,
different.
you're right.
She's okay. Before she got to the Chiefs, she's the biggest pop star in the world right now.
Like who Kelly Clarkson or something, or like Beyonce. Like
They're
Beyonce
past
hooks
their
up-
time.
Yeah,
They're past their time.
Okay.
Yeah, they're
I
past
think
their
this.
time.
I think Taylor is the biggest superstar to ever date an NFL player or any type of player. I
Really?
can't really think of anybody else. Plus, Taylor is way bigger than Kelsey, whatever, in popularity wise. And a lot of people found out who Kelsey is after. I'm talking about non-football fans. Who Kelsey is after he started dating.
Yeah, no, I only know Kelsey because that's the one who Taylor Swift dates.
So going back to your question, I think so. It's it's not only Taylor Swift. That's a huge chunk of it. Don't get me wrong, but it's the storyline of the three-peat, right? That's a storyline that's never been touched upon in the NFL before. No team has ever three-peated, right? So
because the Patriots got screwed by
Bill Belichick benching Malcolm Butler and Alan Branch in the Super Bowl.
and then the
talk about
refs
it.
Philly special. Yeah, rep. Hey, Tom Brady did fumble, all right?
Tom Brady threw 505 yards
I
and
don't-
3 touchdowns in the biggest game of his life and put up 38 points.
Oh, yes, I never put I don't put 100% of the blame. I never put the whole blame on Brady, all right? I blame Belichick.
I don't put any on it, 0%.
He still fumbled at the end, okay? He had the chance to
Shaq
go.
Mason let his defender walk
Okay, you're still
through.
supposed to hold the ball, right?
What do you mean?
He's
trying to- no.
I love Tom Brady. This man be making me go against him sometimes. You gotta say, did he fumble or did he not fumble at the end?
Answer this question first.
Did he fumble or did he not
Answer
fumble?
this question first.
What?
Answer this question first and I'll answer yours.
All right.
Did Tom Brady need to put up 42 points?
No.
Why should he have put up 42
Because
points?
Belichick's ego cannot be checked, and he screwed us by not playing I don't know how good he was playing at that time, Malcolm Butler, but
So which one comes first? 42 points. Which came first? 41 points or the Tom Brady fumble?
the 41 points comes
The 41
first,
points were there first, right?
But you try to act like you want to give the 100% blame to the coach.
That's all on the coach. You bench your best player in the Super Bowl?
Okay, so if Malcolm did play, you think Philly would have been held to less than 30 points?
100%. Bro, we
Because
were
of one guy.
Yes, 100%.
And Malcolm wasn't at his best that year. You remember
Eric
that, right?
Rowe. Do you know who that is?
He sucked.
Yes, and he was going against Alshon Jeffrey.
One thing I'll say blame Belichick for is like, okay, whatever, you benched him for the first half. We were getting cooked in that game, right? You could have brought him back. He didn't let
See,
him play 1 minute.
He knows I'm so right that he's arguing his own point now.
I'm giving Brady 5% of the blame.
No,
For
zero.
fumbling.
Zero.
No, he
Nope.
still fumbled the ball. The fumble mattered.
I don't care.
At the end,
I don't care.
It mattered at the end.
No, it didn't.
All right, you know
What
what?
game?
Let's just get back to the Super Bowl.
What
all right?
game was that though?
This was the 2017 Super Bowl.
This is where his hatred for the Eagles started.
And the Pats could have actually no, it didn't. I was okay with the Eagles winning more than I was okay with the Giants. The 2011 that hurt me a lot. You know, I was in high school. It was not a good time.
So that was the I believe 2017
That Pats
Super
could
Bowl.
have three-peated, but Belichick screwed us
So
out of
that's
the
the thing.
three-peat
It
because we
was-
won the year after. We went to 3 Super Bowls, lost the second one, won 1 and 3.
Yeah.
So going back to what you were gonna say.
Yeah.
So why Chiefs? You said the Taylor Swift thing is a
It's
chunk
Taylor
of it,
Swift. Yeah.
But what else? Like, what
You
else
you've
among
got the
variables?
three-peat storyline. You've got your new golden boy, your new Tom Brady, because Tom Brady's gone. You've got Mahomes in there now. I think a big thing, too, is, a lot of the guys were saying, well, no, actually not a big thing, but one of the things is, like, Kelsey's staying, he's retiring. He's considered, even though I don't consider him a tight end. Everyone knows he's not.
He's
so
a glorified
He's
wide
a glorified
receiver.
wide receiver.
He can't block.
He can't block. He doesn't line up on the line of scrimmage. He's not a tight end. He's a wide receiver. Anyways, so he's considered one of the greatest tight ends. He's saying he's retiring. He's lost a step too. So he's saying
He doesn't get hit a lot.
yeah,
it's
he
not
can.
like
He has
that, he's
longevity
not
because he
Gronk.
doesn't block, right?
Yeah.
But he's saying he's retiring. There's been rumors on and off about Chris Jones, a big player for their defense, one of the best defensive
player, yeah.
linemen in my opinion in the league right now. He's had talks about retirement. Andy Reid has been going through some health issues. One of your greatest NFL coaches in the history of the NFL. Has health issues. He's got some stuff with his family.
He's
off
actually
the
coming
field.
back next year. He said it.
He confirmed
Yeah,
it.
they
Okay,
talked-
so
they
yeah, I
asked him
guess
that question on the media day.
yeah. So I don't know. A lot of people didn't know if he was coming back because he was having health issues. I think he had some heart issues and stuff. All those cheeseburgers he's been eating and stuff.
McDonald's.
Yeah, but all those bundle Ruski meals he's getting. But yeah. So it's that. So it's like it's all these things culminated together. That hey, we've got all these storylines. These guys might be gone. We kind of got to give them their shine before they're gone. I hate that I keep on bringing up WWE because I know everyone knows it's scripted and stuff like that, but it's true. It's true. Like,
Why are we watching?
they have windows. They have windows where a WWE superstar, is really big, and they want to give them their shine for that period, and they sell a lot for that time. They give it to them, they get it, and then they become a side character again. But the difference with this is these people are retiring, right? So you can't tap into that market again. So the Chiefs are kind of getting that window right now with all those things put together, and the NFL doesn't want to lose on that. And who knows, like maybe in a couple of years it'll be another dynasty. I'm not out here saying that the NFL is doing it intentionally, but it definitely helps their viewership, no doubt. So,
Do you agree with a lot of what AB's saying?
Yes, to a certain extent, but I don't know. Like, I feel like you think if they three-peat, the NFL is gonna be like, you know what, we're done with them. Let's try to push another team.
I don't think they're going to say we're done with them. It's Mahomes at the end of the day. They want him in the big games because it's what gets them money.
What is Mahomes gonna do once Chris Jones is gone, Kelsey is gone? Because Kelsey is a safe, right? That's where he goes to.
Yeah.
And okay, you give Andy Reid 1 more year. Is he gonna? And he has been declining. If you look at his individual stats, like he has a good overall team around him. So
Yeah, the Chiefs are a great
He has
team.
been declining. So I don't know. We have to see. It all depends on how good Patrick Mahomes is going to be. The reason the Patriots made it work is because Tom Brady just went on this regimen where that guy played till he's 45, stayed in shape.
Took pay cuts.
Took pay cuts because
Yeah.
Belichick is.
So no, it's
I'm
always
sorry,
Belichick
Kraft
with
is
you, right?
cheap. Okay, I'll give it to Kraft because the same thing is kind of starting to happen now. Even though Belichick
Yeah.
is not there.
Going back to your question, right? Or what your point too is, I don't think it'll be as extreme like how the last 2 years, the amount of like officiating
The hate.
input, all this stuff that's going on, the favoritism the Chiefs are getting. I think once the three-peat's done, if Kelsey does retire and Swift goes, you kind of lost that mark a little bit. But if you kind of look, if you pay attention to that last game, And Chiefs are doing something a little sneaky now. The NFL, I'd say even. Who's your biggest market? Like, what's one of your biggest markets now? What's one of your poster children, I guess you could say, with, a female or a woman athlete now? Caitlin Clark.
Oh yeah, she came out of nowhere.
She's
for the
out of
Chiefs
nowhere
game, yes.
now at the Chiefs game.
Yes.
So they kind of know, hey, Taylor Swift may be gone, because Kelsey's retiring. She might not be coming to the games. They've already got the next input. They've got the plant ready for
Who's she gonna date?
Yeah, who's she gonna date? She's gonna be with Mahomes. They're gonna be a storyline.
He's already married, man.
Don't matter if it makes money. If it makes some money, they'll do it. They'll do it. But yeah, all jokes aside,
Maybe Jackson Mahomes will take a shot.
All jokes aside, I think the favoritism will go down a little bit, but who knows? Who knows who will shine after that?
I know. So for me, just a little way away from the Super Bowl, but we went to California, all of us, and it was my first football game at the SoFi Stadium.
SoFi Stadium.
And
that was a good day.
We don't need to talk about this part, though.
That in combination with the fact that I used to pick the Chargers all the time back in the days.
Playing Madden?
Playing Madden, playing NFL Street, I think too. I've officially marked my favoritism. How do I say this? I officially stamped the Chargers as my team for the NFL.
Wow.
So when I show up to you guys' house,
I just
I'm a Chargers fan. What I want, or I guess for me, another thing I think about is like, okay, so I picked the Chargers. How are they, organizationally? So like from the owners down to the refs to the general managers, like there's a lot of layers, right? To like making the team win. So like thinking about that and thinking about like I know, AB, we were talking about how like the Chargers owner is like cheap. He didn't want to build his own stadium or something like that. So like how much does it matter with these owners and like as far as the outcomes of these games? Like does a cheap owner necessarily garner negative results, and does someone who spends more money are they getting like more wins typically? Like I don't know how the Philadelphia Eagles owner is versus the Chiefs.
The Philadelphia Eagles owner is probably one of the best owners in the league or in the sports world. So I'll say that.
Why is he the best?
He just like I feel like he cares. If you talk to their fans, like he's willing to spend the money. He's willing to spend money on hiring the right people. They've been hitting on their drafts for like 10 straight years now, I think.
That's the GM. So
and the GM, but he's hiring the right people, and I don't know. I just feel like if you compare him and the Patriots owner, Mr. Kraft, feel like he's been always cheap, and now he's starting to get exposed because he doesn't have the protection of Belichick and Brady being there anymore.
They said who? Kraft?
Yes. Because
but he was cheap, but he also had a lot of games won, right?
Yes,
so
but I put that on Belichick and Brady. Belichick is the greatest coach ever. He made it work with the least amount of talent he could, right? And you have the greatest quarterback to ever play.
What you're saying is the owner has nothing to do with it. It's all about the coach and the quarterback.
No, the owner has to do with it more now because he doesn't have as good of a coach and as good of a quarterback now. So he needs to spend money in finding good wide receivers, tight ends, defensive players, so you have a better staff
What
around.
does the GM do then in all this? Doesn't the GM
Well, GM makes the decisions, but you think the GM's going to be like, you know what, I'm going to go spend $50 million on a player. You got to go get permission from the owner, right? You don't just spend $50 million because you're the GM.
Should, like the GM doesn't have a budget and says you can't spend more than this?
Probably does. He does have a budget, most likely. And he's a Chargers fan now.
So it's really just the money. As long as the owners are willing to spend the money, they're more likely going to win games.
Okay, look
if
at
they have a good GM.
Look at
I have a.
Well, look at the LA Dodgers. Right now, I'm kind of going backwards. That team is spending money like crazy for the last 5 years. Now they got 2 World Series. If you talk to baseball fans, they want to do a cap because baseball doesn't have a cap on their salary. That organization is just buying every player they can. They have one of the most stacked rosters ever.
Are they doing good?
Yes, they just won the World Series last year, and they're probably going to win it again.
They bought their way.
Yankees bought their way,
okay,
right, in the 90s and the early 2000s. So
you
need to spend money to win.
What were you gonna say?
So going back to your original question on ownership, I'll give you the most recent example. The Washington Commanders. You had an owner in there for however many years. I can't even remember how long he was there. 20 plus years, I want to say. And he would run that team into the ground year after year. Poor decision making, poor coach hirings, poor draft selections through the GMs. And the NFL essentially worked together with the owners to get Dan Snyder taken out because he was a problem child for the NFL. And that's the thing. Like, a lot of people don't know, Trump was trying to get into the NFL as well. They were trying to have him become an owner. I think he was trying to get the Rams, if I can recall, when they were back in St. Louis. And the NFL is very cautious on who they let in and who they let out. So, going back to Dan Snyder, they took him out of power in Washington. They did a lot. There's a lot of theories about they had him change their name from the Redskins to the Commanders.
I mean, he didn't help himself. He was doing a lot of stuff.
Yeah,
in
he
the
was
background,
he was not a good dude at all. Don't get me wrong. But that's why the NFL wanted him gone.
Yeah.
So there was a lot of theories with the Redskins name change. They were saying we don't want him here, and that helped get him out. And he wasn't taking care of his stadium and making poor decisions.
It's the worst stadium in football.
Yeah, and it's one of the highest capacity stadiums. So they got rid of him. New ownership comes in. Ownership goes out, gets Dan Quinn, gets a good GM. They do amazing in the draft. And a rookie quarterback goes to the NFC Championship for the first time in like 12 years. So, and this is what, his first or second year? I forgot the owner's name for the Commanders, but it's just his first or second year.
I think it's his second year.
Yeah, his second year as owner, and the amount of the differences that have been made to the team. Look at the Dallas Cowboys that you're talking about. Jerry Jones
Is the GM
and the owner. So you're asking what the GM does. The GM's role is essentially personnel, coaching, players, who we're getting in. They make those decisions with the owner. They pay him the money. They figure out the contracts, all these things, right?
Is he above the
so he's
coach?
right. He's above the coach. He's under the owner, right? The coach so he manages the entire football team. The coach kind of focuses on the field stuff. The GM takes care of the off the field stuff. So look at it like this: a player wants a contract negotiation. The player's not going to go talk to his coach about it. He's going to try to settle it with a GM. So the GM's very integral to the team, very important to the team, because he helps make those decisions on who we're going to retain, who we're going to bring in. So if a coach is an owner is willing to spend good money on a good GM, like the Eagles have, why are they now in 2 Super Bowls in the last 3 years? And it's what now, 3 Super Bowls in the last 5? And they also went to a Super Bowl in the early 2000s. Andy Reid was the coach of the Eagles when they last went to the Super Bowl prior to Sirianni and Doug Peterson. Yeah. So that's crazy. That just goes to show you how good Andy Reid is. Back to the storyline, tying it all in. But going back to your question again is, no doubt ownership makes a huge difference. Jerry Jones has made the Dallas Cowboys a dumpster fire. And
they have always been a dumpster fire.
And they're the highest value. No, they haven't. They've won multiple Super Bowls.
When was that? When was that?
It doesn't matter.
1995.
It happened. They won Super Bowls, right?
We were like 2 years old.
Yeah,
I don't think you were born yet.
They still want. They were literally doing what the Chiefs are doing now in the 90s, right?
But they didn't. They weren't trying. They didn't three-peat.
That's what I'm saying. Is back to the storyline. It's a good storyline for the NFL. But the Dallas Cowboys are a dumpster fire because of their ownership. He has a power trip where he refuses to hire a GM. He's the GM himself. It's very, very rare where the owner is the GM or the coach, the head coach is also the GM. Brian, what was his name? Bill Belichick did it.
Yeah, Bill Belichick was the coach.
Bill O'Brien did it. Bill O'Brien. That's who I was thinking of. Bill O'Brien did it. It worked awful for Bill O'Brien.
Mike Vrabel wanted to when he got fired.
Yeah, Mike Vrabel got fired for it. When Belichick did it, it worked until Brady left. And then it just went, and it got awful. You can ask him as much as he wants to deny it. The picks that went in were horrible. Horrid. Look at his drafting from 2019 on.
Well, he had kind of started going downhill.
Yeah.
Before that, But, Belichick had the next guy ready. It's just Brady just lasted longer than anybody thought. You
Yeah.
know, no players ever played to that age.
So how are the Chiefs owners versus the
Great owners.
Great owners, yeah.
Great owners. They're
Chiefs?
yeah, the name of the AFC Championship trophy, the what's it called? The Hunt Trophy. It's the AFC
Yeah.
the Hunt Trophy. They're a part of, if I recall correctly, they're part of that lineage, right? Because the owners are Hunts. So yeah, they're very good owners. They're very passionate about the team. They care about the team. They care about the fans, and they're kind of like they're kind of in the middle of an awkward area. You're in the middle of the country. It's not a lot going on out there. You got a super team. You got an NFL super team, and they've cared a lot about their fans, their players. They've paid their players. That's a big thing. If you pay your players, you keep them happy. They're gonna stay. You're gonna win championships. They've paid their players. They made sure to take care of their contracts. They've brought in talent. They've been drafting amazing with their GM. A lot of the guys that are on their team are teams that they drafted themselves. So ownership, in my opinion, is a huge part of how good an NFL team is.
I mean, going back to the point about paying players, since you used to watch the Pats game back in the day, if Kraft, right, you can say Belichick didn't want to pay some of the players. If Kraft had decided to, Patriots let go of a lot of good players that they pushed up, and then they were let go because we didn't want to pay them, right? There was always, Belichick didn't want to pay. The last decision goes to Kraft. If they had kept Deion Branch, Welker, or some of the other players, I think Brady would have more Super Bowls.
100%.
Brady had to take Brady taking pay cuts was probably the best thing to happen, because I don't think Brady had the best players around him every year. Apart from Gronk, you can say he's the greatest player he's ever played with.
That goes into my next question, right? Because you said that the baseball doesn't have salary caps, so it gets owners to spend as much as he wants.
They just have luxury tax, where if they go over a certain amount of money, the MLB taxes them really high. But the Dodgers owners, they don't care. They're like, all right, we'll keep paying for it.
So what do you think? Do you think that should be introduced to the NFL?
The NFL
Salary has
has
a salary cap,
Yeah,
yeah.
there's a salary cap.
Sorry, introducing the no cap
I don't think.
and putting it as like a luxury tax. Should that be in the NFL?
Oh, Jerry Jones will buy everybody.
That's the thing is
It's hard. That's why the NFL is good, because it keeps them to stay even. Like, there's more competition. Yes, the Chiefs keep winning right now, but there's not too many bottom teams right now. This year there were, but the last few years it's a pretty even type of context in the sport.
How about you, Avery?
well, that will just all go back to ownership again. If you have good owners are going to spend the money and make sure their team is really good. I think people will just absolutely sell out to win championships, and it kind of destroys the fun of it a little bit, in my opinion. I think you need the cap system in place. Teams do go over the cap. It happens. The Saints are in cap hell right now. They have like no players and no money because their teams do sell out and try to make it to the Super Bowl and win. And if it doesn't work out, you're going to suffer for the next 5 years. You have to cut your star players. You have to let a lot of contracts. You can't bring in talent. So I think it's a good way to balance teams out, but it's not perfect.
Does it so? Let's say we had let's say the Patriots were, or even just the Cowboys, like you said. They have a lot of money coming in, so they spend the money on the best players, no cap, right? And then we have another team that doesn't spend as much on players, right? But they're not winning, because the Cowboys, they're spending a lot of money, they're getting all this top talent, and there's unlimited fun for them. Do you think it'll get the players or the teams that don't win as much to spend more, the owners to spend more out of their profit?
No,
and get them to lock in and be like, you know what, I'm gonna try to spend more to get the best talent.
It happened to the
regardless
Chargers.
Of cap. Really?
It happened to the Chargers.
What happened?
The fans were just tired of what he was doing. He left San Diego. He would not pay money for good talent. He would not pay money for good coaches. And the fans were sick and tired of it. They were literally at his doorstep. Keep in mind, there's 5 Chargers fans in the world. So
2 of them are right here.
yeah, 2 of them.
Well, he's not a Charger. He's a Herbert fan.
Yeah, so all 5 of us were at his doorstep, and he was tired of hearing it, and he went out and he paid top dollar and got one of the best coaches in the NFL, in Jim Harbaugh.
And I wanted that for the
Yeah,
Patriots.
and he wanted me. He was
Mad
a
at
very
Kraft.
popular coach, very good candidate, and he paid for him because he knows that money does talk. And the Chargers, look at the flip around that they had. They went from what 5-12, 5-12 to 11-6, and they made the playoffs. Yeah,
They were predicted to be one of the worst teams.
Yeah,
They ended up making the playoffs.
they made the playoffs.
Wait, they like flipped their win-loss
Yeah,
ratio?
they were a top 6 pick in the NFL draft, and they completely flipped it. They won 11 games. They made the playoffs, and the future is bright. And on top of that, this also ties into the entire draft system and getting good teams, building a good team. He hired a good GM with the coach. They drafted some amazing players, some really good rookies.
Just
And
McConkey, man. Nobody else.
McConkey, Joe Alt, you've got
On
Cam
offense.
Hart, Tarheeb Still. Like these are all rookies that made a huge impact, and that's all because of a GM. So people don't realize it doesn't start from the players. It works its way down from ownership, and it's like a trickle down effect where the GM has a huge integral part. Then the coach, then the coordinators, then the staff, the trainers, the people that are keeping these players healthy. That makes a huge difference, and then the players themselves. So yeah, it's a lot that goes into it.
Tomorrow's game.
One thing that just talking about the Super Bowl, I'm thinking about it again as someone who's neutral, who doesn't really know much. I just got into this. One of the things that I hear most about, right, is in America the Super Bowl, but I don't think it's like internationally. Is it internationally like recognized? Like, is it like compared to the crickets, compared to the FIFAs? Like, is Super Bowl and football as popular around the world? Like in Pakistan, they're watching.
Nobody knows about them.
Yeah, they're watching cricket, and they're worried about that in the next few weeks.
But the NFL is working on, they're doing a lot of Europe games. They went to Brazil last year. They're going to Australia. They've been to Mexico. So
what does football need to do to get to that level?
it's going to be hard because there's no football being played in any other country. Like Canada is the only one. So like you have like soccer, the reason it's big because almost every country plays it, So
the country has to play the sport, and it has to be a sport that is easy enough to play.
Why would somebody living in London care about the New York Giants?
That's why the NFL has tried to tap into these markets. Again, NFL is a business. What people say that it's not, and it's why are they trying to tap into these markets then? Because they know there's money in these markets. So that ties in again to the whole Taylor Swift thing. They know there's money in that, so they tap into it. The NFL's gone to England. The NFL's gone to Germany. I just saw a tweet the other day. The NFL is now going to Australia, where rugby's huge in Australia, New Zealand.
Australian football is a little mix of rugby and American football.
Yeah, so they're tapping into Australia. Something, if you told me that 10 years ago, the NFL is going to Australia, I'd be like, I'd call you a madman. They've gone to Brazil. They're going all over. And these games sell out. They're really? Completely sold. The Germany game with the Buccaneers and the Seahawks. Buccaneers are a Florida team. Seahawks are literally across the world. And the stadium was sold out. So the NFL is 100% trying to tap in these markets. There were plans of the Jacksonville Jaguars, going to England and becoming England's team. A lot of theories of it's going to be an 8-game home season, 8-game away season, where the team lives for 8 weeks in England. All these other teams fly to them and play them. And there's going to be 8 games where they're away, where they play away in the U.S. against all these other teams. So it's getting there. The NFL's working on it. They want it really bad. Again, it taps into a market where they can make more money. But it's going to be a while.
They got to send better teams, man. All the games in Europe, it's always the worst teams. The friggin' Jaguars and the Panthers playing. The Pats were playing the Jaguars. Like, you got to send the Chiefs, Send the Eagles, something, teams like that. So, I don't know. Even I saw the games for next year. A couple of them, they're not.
It's because the teams that they're sending,
they're still selling stadiums though. Even though the sucky teams are going,
it's horrible teams that are going stadiums full. The reason why is because they're sending these bad teams because they're trying to ship these teams over there and make those the official teams of one of those countries.
I
That's
don't
why.
think you can't put a team in Europe. It'll be hard. Like, you're asking a lot for the players and their families.
You're
too.
making millions of dollars. Doesn't matter. If your job told you tomorrow, hey, you got to move to Nevada, and you got to work there, a lot of people would take that move. Yeah, hey, it's my livelihood. I got to do it. You're gonna tell me an NFL player is gonna say no to millions and millions of dollars? Request a trade then and go to another team if that's the case.
So going into tomorrow, who do you guys like? Let's say putting biases and everything behind the scenes, right? If you had to put your money on it, that's halal. You can't. Rob, you can't. If you literally were like, someone like me who I'm putting my money on, right? What would you advise me to do? I know the refs are leaning towards the Chiefs. So if I
not officially,
but
maybe they are.
If I put all my money on one team, what would you guys advise?
Put
me
it
to
on the
pick?
Chiefs.
Put it on the Chiefs.
Yeah, they've been winning last 3 years, right? Put it on them. Why?
So you're saying take the Taylor Swift, the all biases
the
outside.
The whole storyline out. Yes.
That's a tough question.
The Chiefs are a better team.
The reason I say that is because I think both teams are very well balanced. I think defenses are good on both teams. Offenses are good on both teams.
But the Eagles have Jalen Hurts.
Yeah, that's the thing is, at the end of the day, Patrick Mahomes is Patrick Mahomes. He'll make those Mahomes type plays, and as Tony Romo would say, that was a little Mahomes, but he'll make those plays and he'll win you those big games. Jalen Hurts, he doesn't do that. He has a system around him. Eagles fans hate to hear this, but he's got a great system around him. He's got a great offensive line, superstar receivers in Smith, A.J. Brown, and Goddard. And you got Saquon Barkley in the best offensive line in football. It's hard to bet against either team, but again, at the end of the day, Mahomes is Mahomes. As a former Brady fan, it hurts to say this. It's like if you knew you had Brady, you knew you had a chance at winning no matter who was around him. So, and Mahomes has a very good team and Andy Reid. So I think I would put my money on the Chiefs, which hurts me to say. It died a little bit inside right there. But
how about you?
Yeah, I think if taking all bias out and everything, I would pick the Chiefs. I mean, who I want to. Well, first of all, I want both teams not to win, but yeah, I'll put my money on the I'll put the money on the Chiefs. But going back to that, if they do end up three-peating, because a lot of, if you look into the media, Stephen A. Smith is talking about who's the GOAT. I have my opinion where I feel like Mahomes is gonna have 4, Brady has 7. Brady won 6 with Patriots, 1 with a different team in the first year with the Bucks, and I still don't put Mahomes above Brady right now because Brady beat him twice. Two of the Super Bowls he has, he went through Mahomes to win. You could say the first one he was just that was his first year, right? He was a rookie or second year.
Second year.
Yeah.
I'm gonna cut you off really quick. I had this argument with my friend, and a lot of people don't realize the year he beat him in the AFC Championship game, Mahomes threw 50 touchdown passes. That was his best season as a starter, and Brady beat him in that season. So I hate to hear that excuse.
Well, and his defense wasn't as good, but
I hate to hear the excuse he wasn't experienced. Brady put up 38 points on him at the end of the day.
Well, the second time he beat him, Mahomes had won a Super Bowl the year before.
Yeah.
And then Brady beat him in the Super Bowl. So I think Brady will always, even if he were to get 7 Super Bowls, I would still put Brady over him because Brady beat him twice. But, Mahomes fans try to say, oh, he was young. Brady was friggin' 43 and 45.
Yeah,
so
he was
what?
Old.
So which 43-year-old is winning Super Bowls at that age? And Brady did it he left the Patriots to go to the Tampa Bay
Succaneers. Not the Buccaneers, the Succaneers.
He took a team that Jameis Winston threw 30 interceptions for and won the Super Bowl.
So you both say that Kansas City Chiefs are going to win.
Yeah, I think the Chiefs are winning this game.
Is it going to be close, within
it's the Chiefs. It's
field goal?
Chiefs don't blow out teams. It's going to be close.
Okay.
Yeah, it's going to be I think it's going to be a close game.
If you were to change the roster right now, would you just take Mahomes and put him on the Eagles if you wanted the Eagles to win? Who would be that game-winning player? If you were to just take from the Kansas City Chiefs, whoever you could. Is it just their
Well, if you
defense?
put Mahomes on the Eagles, I think they will three-peat.
Yeah.
That's how good their team
The-
is.
It's just Mahomes. Like Mahomes is the game changer.
The Eagles have a very, very well-rounded team. Defense, offense, special teams, they're good everywhere. Well, their kicker's been struggling a little bit, but yeah, Mahomes on that offense with that offensive line and a run game, that's a dangerous. He might put up 50 on this.
Saquon and Mahomes on the
Yeah,
same team.
that's
It's over.
overpowered.
Wait, who's the quarterback for the Eagles?
Jalen Hurts.
So Jalen Hurts, how not good as he is, like how much lower is he on the totem pole relative to Mahomes?
Oh, he's not even close. Like,
Yeah,
I mean, we know a couple Eagles fans. You can talk to him. Even they're scared of him. They're shocked that he played decent in the last 2 games. You know,
Yeah.
He had one good year. They paid him a lot of money, and like, I think if Saquon wasn't on that team, the Eagles would not be in the Super Bowl.
Don't get me wrong. I like Jalen Hurts a lot. I think he's a good dude. I don't know. He has a very good team, and he just can't put it together sometimes. And he played amazing in their last Super Bowl when they played each other the first time 2 years ago. He played really good. He just hasn't been that guy since.
And how did they lose? There was a phantom holding call, right?
Yeah, nothing new.
That's
Phantom
what
holding
happened.
call for the Chiefs, but
who take a quarterback from any other team besides the Chiefs? Who would you pick to be put into the Eagles to win this Super Bowl?
well, Josh Allen would do it. 100%.
Josh Allen. I'll take Lamar Jackson on that team.
Justin Herbert. Justin Herbert's winning.
Justin
a Super Bowl
Herbert
with
needs
that
to learn
team.
how to win big games.
Wait, who's nicer, Herbert or Josh Allen?
Herbert's a nice. They're both nice guys.
Who's nicer?
No,
How-
he's not asking about who's more kind.
Yeah,
He's
who's
saying
more
who's better as a player.
Oh, okay. I said my fault. I had a brain fart right there.
No, I was
Josh
asking
Allen
who's
is-
more kind.
It's Herbert by mine.
Who's more kind? So
Yeah, 100%.
yeah.
Yeah.
But now who's better?
He's biased. He loves
Who's
him
better?
too much, yo.
Josh Allen's better.
Okay.
It hurts me to say that, but
After Mahomes, Josh Allen is the best quarterback.
Josh Allen's a better quarterback than Mahomes right now. Nobody
he needs
can
to
tell
learn.
me
Josh
otherwise.
Allen's problem is he needs to learn how to make better decisions.
Tell me any poor
Dude, he
decision.
was kind of brain fading in the AFC Championship game. He was some of the throws he was making were like, what is he doing?
When it mattered most, he delivered, and they lost the game. That's all
I
I'll
blame
say.
first of all, it was kind of what's his name, Allen's fault. There's a
Okay,
zero.
see,
there's a
no,
zero.
no.
There's a. What do you think Brady would have done in that situation? I watched. There's a zero blitz coming, and this guy didn't have the protections ready to help him out. Come on, man.
He's a team-oriented guy. I'm a player-oriented guy.
You love Tom Brady. What would Tom Brady have done in that situation?
It's not about what Tom Brady would have done. You need to acknowledge that there's other pieces around that make a difference on how the quarterback plays. That's one thing you refuse to look at him. He knows it too. That's one thing you refuse to understand is the other pieces, external factors, have a huge part to play in how the quarterback plays. You could have the best quarterback in the world. We've seen it before. And without the right pieces, they can't win. You want to talk about Mahomes, right? How he's so good. He got destroyed by the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And people always cry, oh, he didn't have a good offensive line or this or that or whatever. Like, people...
What? You got to the Super Bowl.
So he's a good quarterback. You're admitting it then.
I've never said Mahomes. Mahomes is the best quarterback in the league right now.
So is that game on Mahomes for losing that game?
No, that game is on the whole team. They got destroyed.
So why
in
is
that
it on the
game.
team now?
Yes.
Why is it not on Mahomes?
Whoa! I think you just
It-
flipped. I think
Mahomes-
you contradicted yourself.
This guy always does this to me, man. No, but they lost by a lot of points in that game. It wasn't like, I don't think it was like one mistake on Mahomes as to why they lost. Their defense was.
But it's
horrible that
Mahomes
year.
though. Why didn't he throw for 500 yards, even regardless of who his team
He's
is?
not Tom Brady. That's why.
Well, Tom Brady threw for 500 yards and lost the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
So who's that on now?
Belichick. I told you,
Okay.
99% is on Belichick. 1% is on Brady.
Okay.
So,
okay.
If you were to list some of the attributes that make a good quarterback off the top of your head, what are they going to be?
Well, talent.
Talent. That's so talent. You got to be
Well,
good.
mental toughness. Well, yeah, a lot.
Working good under pressure.
We're
Yeah.
working good under pressure. Just being able to make the right decisions and making your players around you better. So there's like Jalen Hurts. He needs good players around him to be better. Brady made other players excel and their level because he was just that good. And Mahomes is similar, So I think Mahomes and Brady are that type of quarterbacks.
How about you?
So a lot of people don't realize there's a lot of mental that goes into being an NFL quarterback. You got to be very smart. I feel like there's a lot of quarterbacks out there that make up for their lack of arm talent or physical attributes, like how Brady did, with how smart he was. And he was very smart reading defenses and know where to go with the football. Accuracy, right? Like that's a big thing. You could have the strongest arm in the world, but if you can't hit somebody 5 yards on and out, that's a big thing. Accuracy, and the big thing too is poise in the pocket. If you can stay in that pocket, you can,
What does that mean? Poison the pocket.
When your
means-
offensive
Yeah.
line sucks.
So if your offensive line is starting to crumble around you, defenders are coming at you, like the guys on the end are coming around your backside at the end side. You're that sounded a little weird. We might need to crop that out.
No, we're keeping that.
But yeah, so you have to step up, and you got to kind of have that vision, see that they're coming. That's the thing. We're in an era now where quarterbacks are very mobile. They can run for almost 1,000 yards now. You see in Lamar Jackson, but those guys don't still win Super Bowls. Why not? Because they're not the kind of guys that when a defense plans well against you and stops you from running, can you stay in that pocket? Can you make the throws that'll win you games? Brady couldn't run. You could take a dog with 3 of his legs tied together, and it would beat Tom Brady in a race in a 40-yard dash.
Yes, he could not run.
He could not run. But the thing was, he was so good in the pocket, and he was just a magician. He'd step up. He'd just kind of sense the defender, get away, and throw the ball. And I think a big thing too that's not appreciated anymore. Just throw the damn ball away when you're about to take a sack.
Today's quarterback, they take too long.
They take so long, and you take a sack. And Tom Brady explained it. When you take a sack, you literally give your team worse field position. So now it's harder for you to get the first down. You lose opportunities of getting field goals. And I think a lot of quarterbacks are scared. A big thing now is completion percentage. It's a stupid stat. People care if his completion percentage isn't above 65%, 70%, he had a bad game, right? Nobody cares. Nobody's going to remember, hey, I completed 2/3 of my passes in this game, but one was in the dirt. Tom Brady would throw the ball into the dirt near a receiver so it wasn't grounding, and it would save them. Instead of it now being 2nd and 5 or 2nd and 13, it's 2nd and 5. He saved you 8 yards.
Save the clock.
Yeah, you save the clock. It's all these things, and that's where it comes to the mental aspect of it. There's some smart. Mahomes is a smart quarterback.
Peyton Manning was
a smart quarterback. Tom Brady was a smart quarterback. They wouldn't have these small mental. That's my thing. As much as I love Justin Herbert, I truly love the guy. I defend him all the time. He makes poor decisions sometimes with the football. Not in terms of throwing it to the other team and stuff. He was good on the interceptions, except for in that playoff game. Except for that playoff
5
game.
interceptions.
Four. Get your stats right.
Oh my God, 4 is so much better.
But where was your team though?
Bottom of the league. But don't worry, Drake May's coming, man.
No,
he's coming.
He's not.
Hey, you said he's the guy, but I wanted Jaden Daniels.
But that's the thing with Justin Herbert. Sometimes he's an elite quarterback. Sometimes he just stays in the pocket and tries to make the big play. And Josh Allen was the same way. He fixed that a lot, and that's why he's an MVP now. He fixed a lot of those problems.
Josh Allen, he does a lot of running too, though, right?
Yeah.
Like he quarterback sneaks for TDs.
He couldn't.
Well, he did. The Chiefs just got the calls. He got them.
He didn't do a lot in the game against the Chiefs, though. I didn't see him do a lot of running. Or as far as the gain yardage.
Yeah. So he does definitely run a lot. The thing is, there's a difference between running because you want to, there's nobody open, and running because a play is designed for you to run. The Bills will run a lot of quarterback draws to get Josh Allen. They'll want to pick up a first down or score the touchdown. They'll run a quarterback draw. The thing with Josh Allen is he'll have a lot of those play calls. He'll also scramble, and he can either throw the ball 60 yards. He's got a talented arm on a dime, and get a completion. If nothing's there, he'll scramble. But he's not like a Lamar Jackson type where he scrambles and he's like your quick, fast guy. Josh Allen's like that power, big quarterback. He'll plow through a defender, get you the first down. Mahomes doesn't run a lot either, but he runs in big moments, and they make huge differences in the game. So, I think if Brady had any form of mobility, he probably would have like 14 Super Bowls.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. So all in all, sum it up. I think good quarterback, leader, smart, knows how to read defense, mobile. Don't poison the pocket.
Have poise in the pocket.
Have
Poise, yeah.
Poise.
Oh, poison. I think you said poison.
Poison. No,
poison
no.
in the pocket. Sounds like the
Poison.
defense is good.
Only Aaron Rodgers
Poise
does
in
that.
the
Yeah.
pocket. So he doesn't like operate under like crazy pressure, or
Yeah.
can operate under crazy pressure.
Under
in the
duress, yeah.
pocket. Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
And then
Don't be Tony Romo. Throw interception when it matters.
Yeah.
And then can kind of read the field, obviously, right? And that's really it, right? Anything else?
No, I think we covered it all.
Good leader seems like it's
We'll see who wins
the
tomorrow.
thing that drives everything, though, because it can kind of lead. If the quarterback can lead your team to do better.
Well, quarterback is the most important position in that game. If you don't have a quarterback, it doesn't matter how much talent you have, you're not winning.
You have the best team in the world.
You need a decent quarterback.
You need somebody that
this
can
isn't the 2000
do the
Ravens.
basics. Yeah. There's it's very rare where a team with an average quarterback. Look at the Jets. The Jets had such a good team. 2 years wasted.
Nick Foles, man.
Yeah, Nick Foles, man. The Nick Foles went in there. He was a backup, former starter, won a Super Bowl for the Eagles against the Patriots because he went into a good team. A good team makes a huge part of the. It makes a huge difference. But why do the quarterbacks get the big bucks? Because they're the guys that are gonna win you Super Bowls.
And is that why, actually, I don't know if my memory sucks. So when Brady went from the Patriots to the Bucks, I think that first season, did he win the Super Bowl?
He won the Super Bowl.
But
The second season, no, right?
No, the second season they kind of went down a little. He was starting to feel it a little because obviously his body's older. But
he was gonna repeat.
That's another reason. Like that team had so much talent, they just needed a good quarterback. Jameis Winston is one of the funnest people ever, nicest guys. He just a lot of bonehead mistakes he was making. Take him off the team. Brady got there and they won a Super Bowl that same
Do you
season.
think if he took Belichick with him, he would have had a second Super Bowl?
I think the reason why he didn't win a second Super Bowl in Tampa Bay, that second year the team was very good. They were like 13-4 or 12-5. They had a very good season. Injuries just decimated that Bucs team that second year. On top of that, they made the wild card, not the wild card, sorry, the
divisional game.
The divisional game.
There was something I didn't watch that game.
Almost won the game. Their bonehead coach, who's still the coach now, sends like a zero blitz for no reason, and Cooper Kupp catches a pass up the seam, and they get a game-winning field goal with like 20 seconds left.
Cooper Kupp,
People were saying if that didn't happen and Brady won that Rams game, he would have gone on and won another Super Bowl in Tampa Bay because he would have just smoked the Bengals and he would have beaten the 49ers.
I don't know, man. The Bengals were actually really good that year.
The Rams beat them.
I know that, but I felt that the Rams were a better team that year.
And the Bucs almost beat the Rams. Sorry, not almost. They should have beat the Rams if Todd Bowles had more than 2 brain cells.
What about his What about his offensive coordinator? Or first play.
Don't get me started on Byron Leftwich.
First play is always a run.
Barco caught on to the trend that Byron Leftwich runs a running back up the middle A gap every single play for the first play. It was Scott. I don't
want to remind that.
That's
to
where it goes back to the coaching and the GM and the owner. Yeah, it's some bozos in there, and Brady still brought that team almost to an NFC Championship again. So, yeah.
But who they have? The Rams beat them. Who did the Rams beat in the
Niners?
The Niners.
Yeah.
Ooh, I don't know. You think they would have beaten the Niners?
They would have 100% beaten the Niners. That was the Jimmy G Niners. So there's no way Brady's losing to his backup.
They're pretty quarterback.
Yeah.
It was a pretty quarterback off.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. So yeah, I think
it's a long episode. Man.
I think we nailed it as far as for the most part. Going through some of what you guys who I should bet on. And I don't know.
Give our final scores for that.
Yeah, actually, yeah, that's a good one. What do you think is gonna? I asked, like, it's gonna be a tight one, right? You said the Chiefs don't blow out teams.
What was the score of the previous one 38-35.
34.
It was 38-35, I think, or something like that. They won it by a field goal.
Because they were in last year with the same teams.
A year before.
Oh.
Yeah. So
The
I don't think
Eagles-
it's going to be that high scoring of a game because this time both teams have very good defenses. I think it's going to be, high, maybe not high 20s even. I think it's going to be like maybe low to mid 20s, maybe 21-17 or 24-21. I think
What was the Chiefs game? Chiefs versus Bills game score count?
31-28.
Yeah, that was
34-31. I don't remember those.
It was close too, right?
Yeah, that was a close
similar
game.
outcome for.
Yeah, I think I'll give my final score prediction as let's go 26-21 Chiefs.
I'll do the Chiefs. I'll do 27-24 Eagles.
Okay, I like that.
You just said.
I mean, yeah, I put the money, but I believe, my feeling is telling me that the Eagles are gonna win
That
tomorrow.
they're gonna edge it out?
Yes.
Okay. No. Without the Chiefs cheating. Or without the refs cheating. Alright.
Well, we didn't say that. You said
What's
that.
the final score of the
We all
game?
know it's happening though. We all
Well,
know it's happening.
no. It doesn't matter. Even if they weren't cheating, I think the Eagles are gonna win tomorrow.
Wow. Okay.
That's wow. I took all my bias out for my score, but yeah.
No, I feel like Saquon is gonna pull it up. I feel like that guy I think it's his year.
Nah.
Like, he deserves.
Chris Jones is gonna destroy. And did you hear about I'm sorry we're going off topic, but the Eagles locker room is getting hit with an illness right
I was
now.
about to say that. I was going to bring it up.
what?
Like,
Yeah, their
know.
best defensive player has the flu. A couple days before, Goodell go in there with some influenza
The
blankets
bird
from
flu's over there?
1912. Yeah,
Fed him some eggs, some bad eggs. That's crazy.
I'm worried, man. I'm worried. So I just
Okay, I
I
did
don't
not know that. Okay, now I'm
Yeah, stick with it,
I'm
stick
sticking
with it.
with it.
27-24.
27-24.
26-21 Chiefs.
Okay, so definitely
26-21, 26. That's
Yeah.
an odd score.
Bro, Chiefs kick a lot of field goals, man. I
Hopefully
think 2
Butker
touchdowns
misses
and
a lot.
4 or 5 field goals.
So,
What about you?
me? Yeah, I think if we take the biases out, I haven't really seen much of the Eagles play, though, so that's on me. But
Apart from
I'm
their
thinking-
quarterback, it's a really good team.
and I'm thinking from what I just taken from what I think my other buddies think, it's gonna be everyone wants the Eagles, but it's gonna end up being the Chiefs.
Yeah.
Score wise, I feel like it's gonna be like the Bills versus Chiefs game, so close. Nothing over 30 points for either team. I think that's me. I don't really know.
Give a
how
number,
score.
man.
Man, I don't even know. Like a field goal's 3 points, right?
Spit one out.
And then you get a touchdown, and then like a 1 or 2 point conversion. Maybe like 4 points, 4 touchdowns.
You're thinking too
for-
much,
for
man. Just
Chiefs.
give out 2 numbers.
That's what's 4 touchdowns for
The
Chiefs.
28
no field goals.
Chiefs, no
Okay.
field goals.
And then maybe like 25. Does that add up?
It could.
22 Eagles.
Okay.
Alright.
They'll get 3
There'll be a
touchdowns.
safety.
Three
Yeah, safety,
touchdowns
yeah.
and only a complete 1-2 point conversion.
Okay.
Okay. I like that.
Should I bet on that?
Hey, we can't recommend this. I don't know.
Yeah.
All right. Well, hey, thanks guys for coming along. I think we hit about an hour. Thanks for coming along. I think next we gotta talk about this cricket game coming up.
Yeah.
India versus Pakistan, right? Is it for a World Cup or?
Pakistan versus? It's the Champions Trophy. It's one level lower, I guess. It's only 8 teams.
Wait, so it's Pakistan?
It's
versus
not the
who?
World Cup, huh?
It's Pakistan versus who?
It's a whole tournament, but the biggest game of that tournament is Pakistan versus India.
Oh, okay. And is that like T20 style?
No, it's the ODI format.
One day international, 50 overs. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. February 23rd. Mark your calendars.
Yep.
We're
Locked in.
I was about to say India's coming to
Inshallah,
us,
Pakistan is
but
gonna
they're
win.
frauds and they're not. So
I mean, the things you were just asking about who you're putting money on.
Yeah.
If there's one thing I've learned in sports, never, ever put any type of money on Pakistan's
Never.
cricket team.
never.
Doesn't matter how good they are. Doesn't matter how bad they are. Don't put money on
They
them
will fold
either
in.
way because they will do something that you're not gonna expect.
In a bad way.
Even if you're expecting them to lose, they might win that game.
They might win.
All right, so I'm gonna put money expecting them to
Do
lose.
not, no, don't put the Barco. Do not put money on Pakistan ever. I'm telling you, do not.
Bubber. Is he the coach or is he the star player? I forget.
He's not a star. He's a player.
Okay.
He's,
I think they mentioned it in the documentary. That's
he's
why.
been
That we also
struggling.
talked
But
about.
that's a tough topic. You know?
That's
Me and
episode.
AB over here, we can offend some people by talking about Bubber.
Yeah, well, let's not offend people. Let's just talk facts.
No,
If
actually,
it offends
most of them
people.
are our friends.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Thank you. We'll wrap up.
Thank you.
Pleasure. Thank you.
Yes.